Soft, ambient music begins, then fades slightly as narration starts. Imagine, for a moment, the heavy silence that fell upon the devastated Imperial cruiser. Not the silence of defeat, but of profound, unexpected victory. Din Djarin, the stoic Mandalorian, had just disarmed Moff Gideon, and in doing so, had claimed the legendary Darksaber. He stood there, perhaps a little bewildered by the ancient weapon in his hand, a weapon he truly didn't understand the full weight of. But across from him, Bo-Katan Kryze watched, and in her eyes, a complex storm was brewing. A flicker of relief quickly overshadowed by a deep, almost crushing realization. The very thing she had sought, her birthright, the symbol of her claim to Mandalore, was now held by a man who had won it not for glory, but by sheer accidental necessity. This then is where our story truly begins, at the precipice of a tension that would redefine the future of Mandalore. For generations, the Darksaber has been more than just a blade. It is the ultimate symbol of Mandalorian leadership. Crafted by Tar Vizsla, the first Mandalorian Jedi, it has passed through countless hands, each transfer laden with prophecy and custom. For Bo-Katan Kryze, a scion of a royal house, an experienced warrior and a leader who has fought tirelessly for her people, the Darksaber is not merely a weapon, it is her destiny. It represents the key to uniting her fractured clans, to reclaiming their home world of Mandalore from the ashes of destruction. She believes, with every fiber of her being, that it is her birthright, the rightful tool through which she can restore her people to their former glory. So, when Din Djarin, in his earnest simplicity, offered to just hand it over to her, a gesture born of his practical, no-nonsense nature, the air thickened. We can almost hear the unstated refusal, the painful irony. For Bo-Katan, to simply receive the Darksaber would negate its power, invalidate its very essence. Tradition, ancient and unyielding, dictated that it must be won in honorable combat. To bypass this right would be to undermine her legitimacy as a ruler, to sow further discord among a people already fractured by civil war and imperial occupation. Her long-held ambition, her grand vision for a unified Mandalore, suddenly became an immensely complex dilemma. Din, the unwitting hero, had inadvertently become the primary obstacle to her greatest aspiration. Consider the complexity of this dynamic. Here are two individuals, both deeply committed to the Mandalorian way, both driven by a desire for their people's future. Din Djarin, bound by his creed and now by an unexpected weighty possession, and Bo-Katan, burdened by history, lineage, and a fierce, unyielding sense of responsibility. Their shared goal of a unified Mandalore is clear, yet the path to it is obscured by a seemingly insurmountable custom. The journey they embark on together, the very quest to return to Mandalore, is laced with this quiet, profound tension. Din, initially oblivious to the Darksaber's full symbolic power, slowly begins to grasp its significance through Bo-Katan's intense focus on it. He sees her pain, her yearning, and perhaps the desperate hope she places in this one ancient relic. Yet, his simple offer, rejected out of necessity, leaves them in an uncomfortable stalemate. How does one resolve such a paradox? How do you reconcile a pragmatic hero with an heir bound by sacred tradition? It forces them into a nuanced dance. Trust builds between them as they face shared dangers, but the shadow of the Darksaber, held firmly by Din, remains. It's a constant, unspoken question. How will they navigate this? Will Bo-Katan attempt to claim it through combat, potentially alienating an ally who has proven his worth? Or will a new path be forged, one that honors both tradition and the pressing need for unity? The true power of the Darksaber, as they both come to understand, lies not just in its sharp edge, but in its ability to command loyalty and bring disparate clans under a single banner. Din, by holding it, even inadvertently, holds the key not just to Bo-Katan's ambition, but to Mandalore's very future. This complex dynamic forces us to reflect on leadership itself.
Is it about birthright, or is it about action? Is it about following ancient rules to the letter, or about finding new ways to lead in a changing galaxy? Din and Bo-Katan's story is a powerful exploration of these questions, proving that sometimes the greatest obstacles are not external enemies, but the deeply ingrained customs and personal burdens that define us. Their journey is far from over, and the resolution of this tension will undoubtedly shape the destiny of an entire people. What do you think is the path forward for Din and Bo-Katan? Can tradition bend for the greater good, or must it be upheld at all costs? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this exploration of the Darksaber's demand, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more journeys into the heart of these compelling stories. Until next time, may the Force be with you.